This is Andre Bronk with Pelgar USA from Saylorsburg, Pennsylvania, and you're listening to the world's #1 pest control training podcast, the Pest Geek Podcast with Frank Hernandez.
Pull out your hose and grab your can. We're about to integrate another Pest Geek podcast. Hi, everybody. Frank Hernandez here, and welcome to the Pest Geek podcast, bringing you the latest information on pests, products, and politics from today's leading industry sources to help you start, manage, and grow your pest control business.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to another edition of the Pest Geek podcast. I am Frank Hernandez, your Pest Geek, here discussing all things pest. We want to remind our audience to join in on the revolution. That's right, join in on the conversation, be part of the society. Pest Geek Podcast Listeners Group on Facebook. And we're on YouTube, we're on the web, pestgeekpodcast.com. Check out there the notes, everything that we put into the podcast. They're all on there. And here is Adam Malanga with today's topic.
Hey, this is Adam Malanga. You know, I love helping pest control business owners break through some of the walls that are built, take some blinders off and see what's keeping them from growing their business. Just help them achieve the goals that they wanted to achieve when they started their business. I love that. It's my favorite thing to do. But man, at my heart, at the very core of who I am, I'm a sales guy. I've been selling for almost 40 years. Seems like a really long time. That's older than some of you guys listening to this podcast. You know, I started out selling luggage out of the back of my car, out of the trunk of my car in New York City. Man, you talk about getting thrown to the wolves at 16 years old. But I made it, and I learned a lot along the way. But honestly, one of the best sales tips I ever got was from a region manager in the pest control industry. And he has proven right for a long, long time. So I'm going to tell you how it works. You see, you're the trusted expert in the field. When you put on your uniform and you represent your company, your potential clients, customers look at you as the expert in your industry. They know you know a whole lot more about bugs than they do and what it takes to get rid of them. And so you already have the wall broken down as far as trust is concerned. They look at you as the subject matter expert, and that's awesome. So here's what this region manager told me. You got them exactly where you want them. They already trust you. So when you come across a problem that they're having, just hammer down on the problem. Like, keep on talking about the problem. So you identify, during an inspection, you find that they have termites. Well, this is awesome, right? So now the conversation that happens with the potential client, customer, from that point forward makes all the difference in the world. So it's hammer down on the problem. So you're talking about how many colonies there are per acre land, how vulnerable houses are to termite activity, how there's conducive conditions that bring termites on just naturally, how they cause, $5 bajillion in damage every year, more than fires, floods, and natural disasters combined. Problem. And then here's the beauty. Then the client says, okay, what are we going to do about it? Or is there something you can do about it? So here's what happens at that time. During this you sharing this whole problem situation, the customer starts to realize that they really do have a problem. And they start to associate with that, and they start to buy into the fact that they have this problem. And so now your solution honestly becomes pretty easy. And so when they say, okay, well, can you do something about it or whatever, or even if they don't, you say, here's what I recommend. If stop what you're doing right now and write that down. Here's what I recommend. I recommend, right? Because we already established the fact that you are the trusted expert in the industry. You know far more than they do. And so now you're given your recommendation to solve their problem. And that's the recipe for success right there. I can tell you that I have trained literally hundreds of salespeople with this exact method of problem. Here's the solution. It becomes so easy to convert the client or convert the potential client into a customer when you've shared this problem, but you can't get the solution until they understand they have the problem, right? So you got to see that click in them. You have to have the right response from them, and it's best to honestly wait. If you can keep on laying on the problems, it's best to wait until they say, well, all right, man, what are you going to do about it? What can we do about it? Oh my gosh, what do I do now? If they're saying something like that, man, you're there. They've bought into this fact and they're ready to hear what your solution is. And what's the key phrase? I recommend. If you'll say that as the trusted expert in the industry, I promise you will close some more sales. Try it today and comment, leave a message on this post, and let us know if it worked for you. All right? Problem. Here's the solution. This is what I recommend. All right, good luck. Go out there and make great things happen.
We hope you have enjoyed this edition of the Pest Geek Podcast. Until next time, have a pestacular day.
Thank you for listening to the Pest Geek Podcast. If you have enjoyed the Pest Geek Podcast, please give us a rating, write a review, or subscribe to the channel. You can join the Pest Geek Society by visiting pestgeekpodcast.com. Thank you for listening. See you next time.